What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we are on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. I am Matt Primo, joined by Josh Primo.
What's up, bitches?
This week, now we completely fair here, okay? Last week we didn't know, and by we I mean Josh didn't know what movie he wanted to fucking pick for this week, so we kind of left y'all in the in the balance, okay? Left y'all hanging a little bit. Yeah, the movie that we without spoiling anything for our review, this week we are here to review The Price We Pay. Never heard of it? Neither did we.
I'm just here to let you know what I did was called a cliffhanger in this business, and it brings viewers back. You're welcome.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
They're like, oh, what's he talk? What movie is he going to pick? He usually picks good movies.
On next week's episode, stay tuned.
Yeah. And you're voted off. You'll find out next week.
Right. So yes, The Price We Pay which is what we're reviewing this week. Where the fuck did we watch this at? Was it on Amazon Prime? Shit, I don't remember where the hell I watched it at.
I am. Here, I got it pulled up. Let me see
Or was it on Hulu?
No, it wasn't Hulu.
Anyways, while he's doing that, if you are new to this podcast, every single week, Josh and I kind of flip back and forth. I pick one, he picks one, and we just review movies from classics to, I was going to say superhero movies, but it is definitely not the case. We review just dramas, anything that kind of strikes our eye and looks interesting. We review every single week. Did you find out what it was?
Peacock.
Damn. Yeah. It's on the Peacock.
Not to be confused with Big Cock.
Because you're not going to find that here, folks. You have come to the wrong podcast.
Oh, that makes me sad.
But anyways, there are links down below in the description box. There's links to our Patreon, patreon.com/2game. That is where that's where you can go to support us every single month. You also get access to exclusive podcasts as well as our Discord. And you can pretty much kind of guide the content that you want each and every single week. I know the movie that I picked for next week was voted on by the Patreon. So if you are interested in that, click the link below. There's also a link down below for our exclusive merch. Go ahead and get those hoodies ready, guys, because the cold weather is coming in slowly but fucking surely, I promise you. And then there's also links to our social media accounts, which is where we are doing raffles every so often. We're going to try to do at least one a month, try to build up some traffic on the YouTube and the podcast and whatnot. So go follow us all there, like, subscribe, do all that bullshit. We would greatly appreciate it. But that's enough of that. We're going to jump into The Price We Pay. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here, okay? I didn't have any of the fun facts wrote down for this because Josh told me 5 hours ago, yeah, tonight's not gonna be a good night. Like, no, I'm mad. I'm mad. I can't do this. I was like, I mean, you're being a little bit of a pussy, but I understand.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that conversation went, but that's cool.
So I didn't write down any of this shit. So we are going to fucking shoot this from the hip, guys. Okay.
How insensitive you! I could have been triggered, and you didn't even care.
That's fair, but I don't feel like you would care in this situation if the roles were reversed.
You're not wrong.
And by your silence, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that I'm right. All right. So The Price We Pay. After a pawn shop robbery goes askew, Two criminals take refuge at a remote farmhouse to try to let the heat die down, but find something much more menacing. This movie was directed by Ryahi Kitamura. I'm saying that fucking wrong. Go fuck yourselves. It stars Emil Hirsch, Steven Dorff, and Gigi Zimbardo. Probably saying those wrong as well, but I digress. This movie had a runtime of 1 hour and 26 minutes, and it had a budget of an unknown budget, but it did gross worldwide $52.5 thousand. $52,582 was the gross worldwide for this movie, which was not a lot, obviously. And it was released January 10th, 2023. Oh, this made I didn't realize this was a movie that came out this year. I thought it came out last year. I gotta add this to the 2023 rankings list. Fun facts. There's one. The film is dedicated to Tyler Sanders, who played Danny. Sanders died at the age of 18 from an accidental fentanyl overdose a few months after production wrapped up. Ironically, Gigi Zimbardo's character Grace used to be a drug addict, which it didn't really expand on that too much in the movie. So I don't know why that's even in there. And I was gonna say something, but it would probably be fucked up. So I'm just going ahead and keep my comments to myself on that.
Yeah, that's why I chose to be quiet.
All right. So I think there's only one effective way to do this review. Okay. One, typically we do, what we kind of expect going into this movie. And I think expectations are going to be the biggest part of this review, more so than the actual review itself. So kind of unfold the event, sir. Like what you expected, and then when the movie started, like what the fuck happened? Did you end up liking it, loving it, hating it? What were your expectations?
How could you hate this movie?
I no fucking clue.
I mean, I watched the fucking trailer, so I feel like I got fucked.
I did not watch the trailer like you told me to.
Yeah. So my expectations were pretty fucking high coming into this bitch. But then I read, it's a B movie. I kind of got fucking, I was like, no, probably, I don't know. It might be good and it might not be good. I said, I might throw this in a match court. But then I was like, then I seen the rating that it had. I said, wow, what the fuck? Let me check it out real quick. So I read the non-spoiler, and let's say out of 10 of them, 5 of them was this is horrific, don't do it, and the other 5 said this is the best B-rated movie you'll ever watch, and it is stellar. Like, don't pass up on it. So I was like, all right, maybe this is one of that Western B movie that we'd watched that time. I said, maybe it's a diamond in the rough. And you know what I got to say to that? Man, fuck this movie.
Yes.
I feel like I was fucking lied to.
I
I feel
was
like
bamboozled.
I feel like I could sue them for like lying to me, whatever that would
Wrongful
be.
advertising.
Yeah. Ah, I'm just speechless, man. I don't even know where to go with that.
So when you originally said, because this is how you presented the idea to me, you said, "Look, we can do either this classic horror movie for October." I was like, "Ooh, that sounds pretty good." And you're like, "Or this B-rated movie that's supposed to be one of the goriest movies of all time." I was like, "Well, fuck. I mean, if you say something's gonna be the goriest movie of all time, we gotta fucking watch that shit. B-rated movie or not, like I gotta fucking see this." And all I did, I didn't look up the trailer or anything like that. I looked up the synopsis, and all I saw was heist. And I was like, oh, so it's a fucking heist movie. all right, I don't know how a heist movie can be one of the most goriest movies of all time, but you have my attention. So going into this movie, I thought we were about to see a fucking heist movie. Kind of like The Town with Ben Affleck. You know, something along those lines. It was just a B-rated movie. And then you watch that first scene of the movie. And I'm like, did I pick the right did I click on the right movie here? Because this feels like a horror movie to me. This is not what I thought it was going to be.
Fuck
And
no.
and then old bitch gets tranked in the bathroom, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? All right, well, okay. Obviously, this is a heist movie. It's not a horror movie, so this has to be brought back into it at some point, right? No, no. I mean, it does, but it's not a heist movie whatsoever. This is a straight up torture porn movie, horror all the way around. Was not fucking expecting this, and I gotta tell you, it is a very, very terrible movie. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't have fun with 60% of the movie, because I did. There was some fucking cool shit in it, but I would be you would not be able to trust me if I told you that there was anything good in this movie in terms of filmmaking quality. The writing is absolutely atrocious. God, the lines are so bad. The lines are so bad that they had the actors kind of call out the other characters on how bad their lines were, essentially. I don't know if you caught that. Like, if someone asked a
I
question, oh, a fucking course, like they make fun of them for asking that question.
yeah.
The acting is,
Fucking abysmal. Don't even try to code it nicely.
well, it depends on how you look at it. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I think I'm a little bit higher on this movie than you.
Oh, well, when I read this to you, you'll know why it pisses me off.
It pisses me off. So yeah, we'll jump into all the performances and the acting in just a minute, because I do want to talk about that. Because look, I think there's some tone issues with the movie, and especially with Emil Hirsch. His character is super, super over the top, and it kind of takes away from the movie in my opinion. And some of the choices they made with the villains, with the killers, is dumb for the most part. That's putting it lightly. But nonetheless, there's some stupid shit in here, and it's cool stupid shit. So if you are into B-rated movies that are just like absolutely fucking terrible, and you're kind of looking for a good time, this might be a movie for you. Now, am I ever going to watch this again? No, I'm not. I'm not. But at the same time, I wasn't mad that I spent an hour and a half on this. Or let me rephrase that. I wasn't overly disappointed.
This is what brought this movie to my attention, which I brought it to your attention. Slaughterfest to the max. Incredibly revolting and shocking, but still somehow morbidly funny.
It's funny.
The second part is a non-stop revolting horror, only suited for the die-hard horror fans. What fucking 7-year-old wrote this and bamboozled me? I'm pissed off at him too for doing that.
Comment under it. You are a douchebag. I hope your mommy grounds you.
The next one, entertaining, bloody, over the top.
I mean,
No.
it's bloody and over the top.
It is not fucking bloody.
Okay. When it gets bloody, it's bloody, but there's few and far between of how bloody it is. Let's not even go there. I see the wheels turning over there. Let's not fucking get into it.
Fair enough.
I knew when I said it, man.
Shout out.
I was going to say, I'll let you give me a shout out for it. All right, so let's break this movie down, okay?
Let's start with the storyline. The storyline is so fucked from the start to the finish. It makes zero fucking sense and it connects nowhere to each other.
You're right. You're right. It is a fucking terrible story. The development of the characters are
fucking horrible.
But it's like, did you get the feeling like the writing is so fucking bad, so bad? It's like when the characters would have conversations with each other, if you want to call it conversations, one, they were either telling each other to fuck off. That was most of the conversations. The second one was them asking a question to another character, and then that character saying, I don't want to get into it. Fair enough. That was legitimately all the conversations.
Yeah. Sadly, you're not fucking wrong.
I mean, old dude asked the girl, so what were you doing at that pawn shop? It's like, none of your fucking business. Okay, fair. Really?
What? Yeah, that's how it, yeah.
And then he's like, I mean, you were in that pawn shop for a reason. Maybe to fucking sell something? I don't fucking know. What like, how would you know that she was in there for anything other than that? Like, what the fuck?
And what fucking sense does it make that she didn't get seen, but then she's like, huh, I'm gonna run out the fucking closet? Makes no sense.
Yeah, she just fucking stayed there. Now
Yeah.
I'm wondering if old dude that she supposedly saved, like, you saved the psycho dude that was helping these people kill people. You saved him and then ran away with him. What?
Well, let's not forget about the hooker in the bathroom. Who the fuck knocks in the bathroom when they go in the bathroom and it's multiple stalls? She just knocks. Hello. I'm like, bitch, what? This ain't the time for conversation. It's potty time.
And let me tell you, for a bathroom that was out in the middle of fucking nowhere, that shit was fucking clean. Did you notice that? Like, I mean, when she got on the floor, I was like, "Ugh, that's so gross. Why would you wait?" I don't know. Actually, that floor looks pretty clean.
Yeah, and it's like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and they got 9 fucking stalls, and just in the ladies' room.
Yeah.
I mean, what the? All right.
And how about old pimp dude, like them just throwing like motherfuckers like every 5 seconds to each other? I'm like, do we know like other words that we can put into this conversation? I mean, I'm not opposed to dropping some F words. Obviously I've dropped them all the fucking time, but it's basically them saying, fuck you, motherfucker. No, fuck you, motherfucker. No, motherfucker, fuck you. That is the conversation.
And they would end it with, that's fair.
Yeah, you're right. I am a motherfucker.
There was zero interesting dialogue between the characters. I mean, to the end of this movie, I still don't know who the fuck they were working for or why they had to give them the money so bad.
You bring up a good point, because the entire movie they're like, oh, we got to deliver the money to so and so. What, I mean, are y'all like, are you a part of like a gang, like the mafia or some shit, and you just got to deliver? You just doing a deal, and you fucking trying to bring him some money? Or like, well, what's the deal with why do you have this overarching guy that never gets fucking mentioned or seen or anything like that? And they don't go into that whatsoever.
None. Same the whole movie, man. The whole movie, I'm like, never paid off.
Same thing with the chick. You know, she has a debt, but you know, some movies, it makes sense to have like a silent main character. A main character doesn't really have a background. You know, like Sisu. We watched that several weeks ago. It makes sense for that movie to not have that type of background. Now, granted, personally, I wish that movie would have had some type of background, but this movie is completely different than that, and you kind of need that background to kind of get attached to these characters, because when they start getting slaughtered at the end of the movie, you need to care about them in some way. So not giving us backstories on any of these characters, not really giving us B plots, I thought was a huge miss in the movie.
Yeah, but I felt like this movie didn't know what it wanted to be. Honestly, it went from heist to what, it's going to be a horror. No, it's going to be a slasher. No, it's going to be a thriller. It feels like they had no idea what they were going to fucking do with this movie the whole time. And that being the point is, when you meet the antagonist in the cellar, his story doesn't even make sense. His is a totally different reason why he's doing this stuff. And it's like they had
What
three
was
mini
his?
movies.
What his daughter got killed by an abusive boyfriend or something like that? Was that what it was?
I'm
And then
trying
he
to think.
starts selling organs.
Yeah,
Uh,
like, how did that
okay.
connect?
Why don't you just
And
kill abusive? Why don't you just go around killing abusive boyfriends? That makes more sense. Like, what led you to organ harvesting?
and who was the Sasquatch helping them? That made no sense. I was like, what the
All right,
fuck is this? The hills have eyes?
dude, that is a huge offensive thing to say about the hills that have eyes. So let's talk about them for a second. The mute, the big giant chick who we don't really know who she is, why she's mute, or anything like that. Okay, they don't explain that whatsoever. She, I understand they you want to do some type of representation with disabilities and make her a mute and whatnot, but the way they went about it in this particular movie, it I don't know. To me, it didn't strike the right tone. It kind of honestly made it seem like they were making fun of it more so than anything. And when she's trying to talk and all that stuff like that, it comes across as comedy rather than them trying to do representation of disabilities and whatnot. So I think that was a huge misfire. Whether that's what they wanted to do or not, maybe I don't know. Fuck it. I don't think they made sense with anything else. They probably went for this being more comedic and take and said, fuck it. I don't really care about her being mute. We're just gonna make it seem funny.
Yeah, but and then you go, we start getting into the gory part of it. And right when you're gonna see some good shit, they take the camera away, and all you see is some fucking dude with shit over his eyeballs now, and him hollering, like, why did he take his eyes?
To harvest them. He was gonna give them to somebody else.
Well, damn, there's a lung, there's a kidney, there's all kinds of shit in there to do.
Like, why are you wasting it?
Yeah, and I mean, even though he says that all your organs aren't good because of the shit you put in your body, I mean, come on, there's somebody on the black market willing to pay for a low grade liver.
Low
I'm
grade liver,
sure.
great value liver.
I'm sure it would catch a few dollars.
That's fair. But yes, the motivations for these villains, the antagonist, is just not there because like we mentioned a minute ago, why are you harvesting these organs? One of the movies that kind of came to mind, actually two movies come to mind when I think about this movie. Huge influences from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I can't stress enough. Like the last third of this movie is basically a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But there's also some Hostel influences in there as well. And the thing with Hostel, have you ever seen Hostel, Josh?
Yes.
So the thing with Hostel, at least the motivations made sense. It was a bunch of rich people that just wanted to do some fucked up shit to people.
Agreed.
That's all it was. I mean, as simple as that motivation is, at least it fucking made sense. Okay. At least you could see, okay, that could possibly happen somewhere in fucking Europe, somewhere, you know. This one, the motivations just aren't there. It's he loses his daughter to an abusive boyfriend, husband, whatever, and then he decides to go harvest organs and then give them to people, but he's also making money off of it. So really, you're not doing this out of the kindness of your heart, like you make it out to be. I don't know. Just the motivations just kind of fucking suck. They're not explained very well.
Very, very much. And their inability to develop any of these characters, you didn't give a shit about any of them. You know, there was no chemistry between all of them. And I feel like the character, let's see what his name was. Uh,
Alex,
uh, yeah, how did you know? I think that was the biggest douchebag of all of them. His
the
acting
the,
was horrible.
the over the
Horrible.
top guy,
It was fucking horrible.
the crazy one with the glasses, right?
Alex, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one that had his eyes taken out.
yeah. So here's where I think the tone issues are messed up. Everybody is serious in this movie except him. His brother is a little throwed off, but for the most part, he is the only one that's like super over the top. Steven Dorff's character, I forget his name. It doesn't really fucking matter because you don't really care.
Cody.
What Cody?
Cody.
Yeah, Cody. All right. So he's like 100% super fucking serious the entire time. And I got to give him credit. It seems like he tries his best to do some decent acting, but it still falls flat. But yeah. Alex, Emil Hirsch's stuff is so over the top that it kind of takes you out of the movie. And if they were going with that particular tone for the entire movie, I think it would have worked a lot better. Like if you were going for more of a horror comedy rather than a straight horror movie, I think it would have worked a lot better. But yeah, most of the time I just felt like it was just way over the top for me. And maybe if he had been given better dialogue, it would have been better. But I will say this. He was the most interesting character out of them all. All right. Hear me out. Regardless of what you think about the acting, you gotta say it out loud. When he was on screen, you just eyeball fucked him, right? I fucked him.
I mean, I was kind of more into the hooker chick.
My interest stopped there. But what I'm saying is, when he was on screen, I guess just me personally, I was paying attention. He was the most interesting character. Now, that's not saying much because everybody else kind of sucked and wasn't interesting whatsoever.
Yeah, but the problem with his over the topness, man, is it just didn't fit and didn't make sense. You know, like Russian roulette with the kid in the storage room. That made zero sense of why you would play Russian roulette with somebody in that situation.
Oh, I didn't say all the scenes were good.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I just
that scene was stupid. Like, it didn't even fucking make sense. Like,
yeah,
it seemed like they were just throwing shit at the wall and hope it stuck. You know, instead of doing stupid shit like that, why don't you talk about how old girl apparently was a fentanyl abuser or some shit? You know, why don't you expand on why she's all fucked up in this movie? Like, go into that stuff a little bit more instead of giving me this Russian roulette stuff.
It kind of reminds me of a Saul-esque movie because, you know, he always chose people that had those shaky past. But the differences between the two movies is one knew how to tell a story and incorporate their background in versus this one, which had no idea how to do it. And you were left to guess.
And the Jigsaw was actually smart.
Yeah. And the cinematography in this one was fucking wretched. Like, I almost got freaking, I don't know if it's car sick or fucking movie sick. I don't know. toward the end when they're doing the strobes and fucking jarry ass cuts to the next scene. Man, I'm like, this bitch is giving me a headache. This is horrible.
Hey, what about when Cody and the mute girl, after he gets his chest stapled up after it has been fucking pried open, they staple it together and he immediately gets off of the table and starts fighting the mute girl. Dude, I couldn't help but think about WWE, man. That was some WWE shitty ass choreography there with the fighting.
Well, I mean, he did have adrenaline stabbed in his heart, so
Oh fuck,
he might have been a little nervous, jittery.
jittery.
Yeah.
That's fair, man. Like I can't argue against that point. Adrenaline always works.
But you are 100% right, man. That's what it reminds me of is shitty wrestling choreography.
So before we talk about the ending of the movie, one other thing that I want to mention is the choices by the characters. Like I know, man, like it's a cliche with horror movies. Characters make stupid decisions, okay? But I feel like these people make really stupid decisions. And they're just like overly dumb. Like, Alex dude, the one that's over the top, he decides to go down into the cellar. Like he's just over there like, I'm gonna go explore this place. Wait, so you're on the run, you're trying to lay low, and your idea is to go explore? And then not only explore, you're gonna go into a cellar? Like what,
Yeah.
what? I don't understand. Like, why are you doing that? Like, and that's just one of the decisions that they make throughout the entire movie. But yeah, man, the character's poorly written, and they just make stupid decisions, and so on and so forth.
And their aim is horrible when they're shooting guns.
But old girl knows how to hit an O2 tank and decapitate a guy.
That was bro.
You telling me you can't shoot worth a shit, but you can hit this fucking O2 bottle so hard that it explodes and shoots off and then hits this tiny little target.
Shout out.
like I get it. This movie's not believable, but come on. Come on. We gotta have some. We gotta make this make a little bit of sense, okay? Now, with that being said, as stupid as it was fucking funny.
And then that Sasquatch was like, I'm like, what the fuck was that even supposed to be? I mean, I didn't even know what to say with that. I was like, be damned.
I don't even know what to say to that. I would have almost preferred the bloody conversation. Moving on to the ending. What did you think about the ending? Because like I said, this is the most Texas Chainsaw Massacre part of the entire movie. There's barbed wire. She gets caught in the barbed wire. They're running, and the way it's framed looks just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know if you caught those influences or not.
I figured so on the barbed wire, but I didn't know that was the same camera shot they used. But I will have to say that's probably the only scene I don't have a huge problem with, even though I think they made it last like 4 minutes too long.
Right on, shout out.
And I mean, does like everybody out that way have like a fucking barbed wire baler that they're using?
Right? I was like, huh? All right. So to me, the ending is funny because it is so over the top. And the whole barbed wire kill scene is is just awesome to me. And like you said, it's over the top because somehow she gets trapped in this barbed wire and they turn it on and it basically just kind of crushes her, and then it eventually crushes her head and it pops off and explodes. Like like I said, it's over the top, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not mad at it.
I don't know. And then the next thing you see is the girl and the boy riding down the road, and I'm like, bro, you do realize he helped those freaks like kill everybody in there, and you're cool with him?
Like, that dude's gonna fucking kill you.
I mean, hello, guilty by association, and I'm not talking about the song.
And let's not even mention that it took him almost an hour to let you go. Like,
For real.
it's not like you showed up and he let you go.
And he really didn't let you go. He just didn't say, "Hey, doctor, the chick's cutting her
Right?
wrist bands."
I mean, let's be honest, man. That dude wanted some poontang pie. That's really all he wanted.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
She was like, "Oh, dude, I fucking forget his name because it doesn't fucking matter. Let me go and we'll fuck." Like, okay. Like, that dude was thinking with a head, but it was not this head up here, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm with you. I'm with you, dog.
I respect it. I'm not saying I disagree with them. I'm saying I respect it.
Yeah, I see where you came from.
Shout out. All right, sir. So what give you your final impressions and your rating / recommendation for the movie?
Horrible movie, man. I cannot find one redeeming quality in it, from the acting to the story to the kills to the fucking cinematography to everything. I hate this movie. It pisses me off to know that I spent an hour 27 minutes watching it, and I hate the douchebag that wrote that fucking review that tricked me. I'd give it half a star, and if you just fucking hate yourself, go watch it.
So I'm gonna recommend it to just a specific group of people. Okay. Um, every October I do horror in review with Carmen, and she is really big into terrible B horror movies. Like, that's her fucking genre, I think. Because if we end up doing the top 10 episodes at the end of the month, we couldn't be more different with our top 10s. Like, mine are more mainstream with some hidden gems thrown in there. Hers are purely just terrible movies. like like that's her fucking genre, okay? Like, I think she might like this movie and think it's just great. If you are into the B-rated, just absolutely atrocious movies, maybe with some stupid comedic over the top moments, then this might be a movie for you. I'm not going to sit here and say that I hated all 1 hour and 27 minutes of this movie, because I didn't. There was a middle portion, probably about 15-20 minutes, where I was like, yeah, man, this movie could end right now and I would be okay with it. But that's about it. Other than that, I didn't dislike the viewing at all, which is
The
weird
Wonder
because
was better.
when we go back to like Cocaine Bear, and I did not like that movie at all.
Yeah, how does that even make no
I
sense?
I agree. It doesn't make sense at all, because that movie was actually going for that comedic aspect, that comedic tone. And then we have the fucking Winnie the Pooh movie, and I'm like, that's the best shit ever.
Yeah,
I still can't
I
believe
would rather.
I still can't believe we reviewed a Winnie the Pooh horror movie, dude.
I would go on a limb and say that I would watch Wonder before I watch this.
Ooh. Now that is that's bringing it back old school, guys. That's like one of our first reviews together.
That was.
That was a bad movie.
This one's fucking terrible, man. And you know I'm a sucker for B movies, but
So
I just
I
can't
would
fucking
recommend,
do it.
if you're into those types of movies, then go watch it on Peacock. Um, personally, I'm gonna give it a star. Um, I was thinking maybe like 1.5, a half, just because I enjoyed a decent amount of the movie, but unbiased 1 star. I think that's fair because there are some good moments in the movie, but the writing, like Josh said, the direction, the story, all that just falls completely flat. Especially for a movie that, I don't know, man. On the outside looking in, it seems like it would be a nice idea. They just didn't execute any of it properly, I don't think.
The best part of this movie is when the credits rolled.
This guy said, I was ready for it to end.
And maybe the Sasquatch chick.
Sasquatch. But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below, or drop us a comment on our Facebook page or wherever you're seeing us share this this review. Let us know if you have seen The Price We Pay and what you think about it. Next week, as voted by Patreon, we're going to be watching Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. That is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal in it. I'm not mad at it. I'm hoping it's good. I've heard decent things about it. So yeah, go ahead and watch that. That is on Amazon Prime. It just came out on there. I do know one thing, Josh. Did I mention Slaughterhouse to you?
Yeah, that was up on there. Yeah.
The killer sloth.
No, yeah, that's what y'all are doing a drunken review on.
Yeah, so I was thinking about doing it drunken review and then doing it sober. And I obviously you'd only watch it once, but I'd end up watching it twice and getting a feel for that movie and seeing which is better. I think it'd be a nice perspective down the road.
Let me look at the movie before you fuck me.
No, fuck you. I just watched The Price We Pay. You're gonna fucking watch this movie. But yeah, guys, go ahead and watch The Covenant if you're interested in that. And we appreciate y'all joining us. Like I said, all of our links down below for our social media, Patreon, merch, all that. Any support would be greatly appreciated. But just liking or just even watching this is support enough. So we appreciate y'all being with us for this review. And we will catch y'all next week on another episode. Laters.
Later.